Hello, it's Mr. Dixon, your too cool for school counselor, back with another episode of The Counseling Corner. Today, we're going to talk about something called self-control. First thing we need to discuss is what exactly self-control is. Well, self-control is the ability that we have to choose the things we think, the things we say, and the things we do. A helpful way to think about this is to imagine a video game controller. On these controllers, there are buttons you can push to make your game character do something like run or jump. Well, in real life, you could think of your brain as a video game controller. Using your brain to choose the things you think, do, and say is a way we show self-control. As you probably know, the things you think, say, and do all lead to consequences. It's important that we learn about self-control because if we can show self-control, then we have the power to choose these things and what consequences we experience. I'm confident that anyone who tries hard enough can show self-control. We're going to prove this by playing a little game together I'm sure you've all heard of called the quiet game. To play this game, I'm going to say ready, set, go, and see who all in your class can be quiet for 5 seconds. Sounds pretty easy, right? Let's give it a try. Ready, set, go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, I'm sure you all did a fantastic job, so give yourself a thumbs up. You may not know it, but playing the quiet game is an example of showing self-control. Because when you're playing the quiet game, you're choosing to be quiet instead of talk. There are so many other times throughout the day when you show self-control. Things such as choosing to sit in your seat and walking in your school's hallway are all examples of showing self-control. Typically, you will have negative consequences when you choose to do things like running in the hallway instead of showing good self-control and walking. So far, we've talked about what self-control is, why it's important to talk about self-control, and also about some examples of self-control we experience every day. Now, we're going to discuss a strategy that we can practice to get better at controlling the things we think, say, and do. The strategy we're going to talk about is called self-talk. Self-talk is when we use a voice inside of our heads, the one you might hear when you're reading silently or thinking about something, to talk to ourselves. A situation where you might use self-talk is when you feel tempted to do something you know you probably shouldn't. When you're feeling this way, you can use self-talk and tell yourself things like, "Don't do it," or "Don't say that." This could help you keep from doing something that you know you shouldn't, which will also help you avoid negative consequences. You can also use self-talk to help with self-control by telling yourself to do more of good things. For example, if you know that your teacher really likes when you raise your hand to answer a question, you can tell yourself to wait quietly and raise your hand, even when you're super excited to share the answer you know. Let's practice using self-talk together. I want you to take a look at the screen and use self-talk to tell yourself what color square you see. Remember, don't say it out loud. Only say it to yourself with self-talk. Okay, here's your chance. What color was our square? If you said the color was red, you did a great job. You also proved that you can use self-talk to tell yourself things. The next time you're in a situation and you're finding it hard to control the things you're thinking, saying, or doing, try using self-talk to tell yourself what to do, think, and say instead. When we think about our video game example, using self-talk is like using a secret code to help our brain do a better job. Throughout this video, you've learned about what self-control is, the importance of good self-control and how it helps us to avoid negative consequences, and a strategy called self-talk that can help us have better self-control. Remember, we all have the power to show self-control and choose the things we think, say, and do. Every choice we make has either a good or bad consequence. And if we want to have more good consequences, it's important that we make better choices. It's not always going to be easy, but you can help yourself by staying positive and using self-talk to help you control the things you think, say, and do. That's all for our lesson on self-control. And until next time, remember that you're competent and capable, so always be confident. See ya!